All right. So I am super excited for this webinar. I've been looking forward to it all week because I just returned from Las Balsas, and you all know how that goes. After you visit a place, it becomes something much more familiar to you that you want to share with the world. And that's a kind of a good segue into what we do. So I know many of you have been acquainted with us for a long time with CK representation. But just as a reminder, what we do as a sales support representation company, uh, our goal is always to find hotels that share common characteristics and philosophies. They are individually owned and they reflect their owners' visions and passions and share the love of the destination where they're located. So it's not all about the luxury of opulence and ostentation, like overwhelming material things, but a firm sense of place and authenticity created by personalized service and design elements in harmony with the cultural and natural world that surround them. And for me, when I arrived to Las Balsas, this is exactly what encompassed the whole hotel and the whole philosophy of Las Balsas. This basically owned by the same family since 1988, and this wonderful team, Clara and Lucia, who I'll introduce you to next, are part of what makes the whole experience so amazing. And here's a picture of some of the other properties that we're currently working with. So, again, officially welcome to the portfolio Las Balsas. And I would love to take the chance to introduce you to the sales team. So I have Lucia Del Campo and Clara Tequini here to help with whatever you need in terms of Las Balsas. I know many of you work directly with DMCs in Chile and Argentina, and we are familiar with all of them. But Las Balsas is one of the few places in Argentina where I would say you can spend your whole trip here. Some guests combine it with Atacama, Torres del Paine, El Calafate, Buenos Aires, Santiago. There's always some different types of combinations that you can do. But you can also come to Las Balsas for a week and make it your one-stop destination to see the Lake District and other parts of Patagonia. There's so much to do and see here that, there's really always options of different itineraries. And again, Clara and Lucia are people who can help handle that directly or answer any questions that you may have. So I'd like for them just to say hello, introduce themselves, say a little bit more about their affiliation with Las Balsas and their love for adventure travel. So Lucia, I'll let you start.
Okay, thank you, Turney. It's a pleasure for us to become part of this portfolio. Las Balsas, it's 37 years old, but has been certified like a V Corp, and also is the first relay chateau in Latin America so far, and also the first one to be a V Corp. And well, if you can continue, we are in the Lake District. It's a very nice site. I'm with Las Balsas since 1 year, and I'm the commercial manager. And I am going to let Clara to introduce herself as our sales manager and continue telling something else about Balsas.
But to clarify, you've worked with several hotels in Argentina, Chile, Brazil, right?
Yes, I've been working in Ushuaia for Los Cauquenes for 8 years, also with Casa de Uco in the Mendoza Uco Valley region, the wine region, also in Iguazu, and now in Villa La Angostura, in the Patagonia. So,
Places that we
uh,
love.
yeah, yes, of course. Every time in Argentina, inside Argentina.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
So hello everybody, I'm Clara and I'm the sales manager, and I've been with Las Balsas for a year as well, August last year. And well, I've worked as well with Lucia some time ago in Ushuaia in Los Cauquenes, and afterwards I moved to Europe for 6 years, and well, I came back last year. So yeah, Turney, I'll let you continue or
Amazing. Well, Clara, we're so happy to have you back with us in Las Balsas, and I'm sure Europe was a great experience, but we need you here helping us bring amazing people to Las Balsas. So, without further ado, we're going to hop right into the presentation. One moment. Okay. So, as you know, with CK representation, we love logistics. We like helping people create itineraries that make sense. And first and foremost, whenever we present our hotels, it's always important to understand where the hotel is located and how to get there. So, as you can see from the map, most people will go from Buenos Aires to Bariloche. There's several flights daily that go from here, and there's also a few, pretty much one per day flight that goes from Santiago directly to Bariloche as well, with Sky Airlines. But other than that, you have to fly Buenos Aires and then to Bariloche. So let's start with a video just to
Memories
get
are a
a
way of holding on
idea
to what you love,
of Las Balsas.
a way of clinging to what you are, to what you don't want to lose. The minutes we spend on ourselves and on others remain for good as memories. The minutes we lose are gone forever. We don't remember days or hours. We remember moments, experiences, details. And we remember those who were there with us. Some people close their eyes to get away from reality, but there's memories are a way of holding on.
Oh.
Is the only road that leads to a life that is full.
All right, I think we get the idea. Sorry that muted halfway through. I muted myself and I didn't realize it muted the rest of the video. But from those visuals, I think you get the idea. And if that doesn't make you want to explore, I don't know what does. So let's just continue exploring Las Balsas, and I'll return to some of the adventures and different experiences that you can do from the hotel later. For now, let's get more acquainted with the property and what the hotel itself offers. So if you look here at this map, you can see the lake, and then you can see the Hosteria, which is the main house, and then the spa and the sustainable villas. So everything is located along the lake, um, which is really amazing because pretty much every step you take, you've got just an incredible view from the Hosteria, the spa, the shore, or even the villas. And then around the property is a trail. So beyond being a hotel, Las Balsas actually protects, I believe, 15 hectares of land and has an amazing nature trail that guests can hike on their own or with one of the staff members of the hotel. So let's go into the hotel. This is going to be the main house. So if we look back at this photo, um, this is the main house, the original building built in 1988. And then we'll go over to the villas, which are newer. They were built just a couple years ago. Lucia, can you remind us when the villas were officially created?
The villas,
See.
2024, last year.
So that's one of the main reasons we're super excited to represent Las Balsas. Not only is it an amazing hotel, it's been upgraded to a more intimate experience, having the remote villas that are standalone aside from the hotel. So there's more rooms and more offerings, and we want to make sure that the entire market knows all about it. So we'll get to there, but follow along as we show you the main house, the hotel, the restaurant, and the rooms. So in the main house, there's 10 rooms, or yeah, there's 10 rooms in the main house, but then there's 10 villas. So there's 20 rooms total. And in the main house, we have three categories of rooms. So this is the atelier, which again, each one has a view of the lake. The corner suite, sorry, this is a studio suite, and then the top category being the corner suite, which is just a little more spacious. But again, there's not really a bad room option because all of them have magnificent views of the lakes and a little bit of their own design. When I was at Las Balsas, it felt to me a little bit like somewhere you'd say in Colorado, like a mountain village home, but really homey. You know, it doesn't even feel like you're at a hotel because the staff, they'll become your friends. They're so friendly, and it's just a place you can roam around at your own speed. It's not like you arrive at Las Balsas and you have to go on an adventure, you have to eat at a certain time. Everything is at your own pace, and that's one thing we've always loved a lot about the hotels and CK representation. Kind of do as much as you want or as little as you want at your own pace. So now we've seen the main hotel. Let's go and look at the villas. So each of these have the same interior. Um, they offer a lot of space, and you can see each one has their own deck. It didn't look so much like this when I arrived. If you can imagine snow being here, about 3 weeks ago, my entire deck was maybe a foot of snow. So there's always a different scenery at Las Balsas, and for those who know Patagonia well, Torres del Paine and El Calafate are only open from October through April. So Las Balsas being open year round really allows guests to experience the wintertime of Argentina, which is a beautiful experience. So here's a video of the villas, and I promise to keep my sound on this time. So this is a great overview with the drone. You can see how the villas are a little bit separated from the main house, but still very close in proximity to where you can walk to the main house, the restaurant, and the spa. One thing that I specifically loved about the villas is that, especially in the wintertime, it can be cold, there can be snow, and maybe you don't want to walk all the way to the restaurant. Well, the hotel staff will bring you food as room service, so you don't even have to leave the villa if you don't want to. And I'm going to pause it right actually here. Maybe there's a better picture, but okay, two of the villas, as you can see here, are connecting. So there's 10 rooms total, but two of the villas are two bedroom and two bathroom with a connecting door. So this is a major trend in the industry. Almost every single one of our hotels has one of these two bedroom, two bath accommodations. So I just wanted to point that out. But the
Yeah,
others,
sorry, Tony. In fact, there are two pairs of two. So you have two connecting into each other.
Mhm.
So there are six independent and four that are like butterfly villas because they're just the same.
Mhm. This is a better shot. So yeah, you can see
Yeah.
the individual villas. If we fast forward a little bit, yeah, there's two of the houses are two bedroom, two bath, but 10 rooms total. So that's the main takeaway. All right. Hopefully that drone footage helped you understand the property a little bit better, and we'll get into some of the other parts of the hotel. So It's important to know that Las Balsas was the first Reliant Chateau hotel in all of Argentina. And this makes it just a more elevated experience than what it would. Let me put it this way. If you had Las Balsas with a normal restaurant, it would still be an amazing hotel because of the location, the staff, the activities to do nearby, and of course the spa. But the Reliance Chateau restaurant just takes it incredibly to the next level. Like you have all these amazing things, and then the food is just like a cherry on top, you know? Um, it's not over the top fancy dining. I would say it's almost more like home cooking at an elevated level. And they do offer room service still at the Reliant Chateau level. So in terms of food and wine, you can't beat it in Argentina. They really set the tone for how uh, fine cuisine in this region should be selected. Um, so each dish reflects an original interpretation by our chef Duvan Ochoa Zuluaga, who combines carefully selected regional products to provide a unique dining experience on the shores of the lake. So one thing I loved being especially from Texas is I like meat. And of course, if you're going to Argentina, you want to experience that. And they have some venison here that a Patagonia venison that blew my mind. So not only is it Reliant Chateau just for the recipes and the quality, but they do such a fine job of taking meat locally, responsibly, and sourcing food the right way, not importing it from overseas, but taking the ingredients that they have nearby and creating unique dishes that way. So it's not an asado, but it's close enough if you ask me, and uh, brings in
We also can provide asado if you want. Don't worry.
exactly. So that's what I mentioned when you don't have to combine Las Balsas with everywhere in Argentina to have that type of experience. We can bring it right to you at the hotel and the wine cellar. So every food and beverage that you'd like to try at Las Balsas is professionally paired with a certain type of wine, and the sommelier on site can take you into the cellar and you can do different wine tastings or pairings. We can also customize certain experiences like that. So we like to keep the spa at the end because this is something that you have to experience when you come to Las Balsas. Um, I think there's a video. We'll go back to it, but we'll get more into the details. What you need to know is at the spa, we've got a heated indoor and outdoor pool open year round, which I thought was lovely. When it's snowing outside, you can swim out to the outer part, be surrounded by snow and the mountains, and it's just a lovely experience. You want to go skiing and do all these activities in the winter, but once you go to the spa, you're like, no, let's just relax here. So there's a small gym on site, a sauna, there's Scottish showers, a jacuzzi, and two massage rooms. So the massage rooms are available to book with a masseuse on site all days of the week. So in terms of excursions, it's pretty seasonal. In terms of the winter time, most people are going snowshoeing and skiing, but there are still opportunities to do hikes if weather permits. However, if you visit from October until April, the world is yours at Las Balsas. I think this picture represents it perfectly. There's so many different activities. It is more activities that are not totally strenuous, but they are active. For example, kayaking, mountain biking, hiking, fly fishing, and treks to waterfalls are examples of some things to do. But there's different levels of difficulty because there's a national park nearby and different trails. There's a lot of different ones to choose from depending on the activity level that you'd like. And of course, snowshoeing and skiing are amazing activities. I will say it's not something like you might experience in Colorado or Utah for those of us in the United States. It's not as high as elevation. So pretty much, if you do go to Las Balsas, if the weather permits and there's a lot of snow, the mountain is only 15 minutes away, and the concierge can help arrange transportation, ski rentals, ski passes, and everything like that. So, depending on weather, it can be an amazing ski destination, but also a place just to relax. And again, as I mentioned earlier, 15 hectares of protected native forests and self-guided nature interpretation trail. Um, Lucia mentioned this earlier, but Las Balsas is now a certified B Corporation. So yes, we are part of Reliance Chateau, the elevated experience, but we want people to also know that sustainability is the core of Las Balsas. And so having that certified B Corporation stamp is very important to us, and we're very grateful to be part of that organization. Um, Not only providing a very high level of service, but also protecting a very unique piece of land and offering guests the experience to see nature. I think that's super important to understand with Las Balsas. So seasonality, I talked a lot about this. Um, Basically, one thing that I was surprised by is during the winter time, you can expect the sun to come up around 9 a.m. and it goes down around 6 p.m. So there is about 12 hours of sunshine and 12 hours of, or a little more hours of darkness during that time of year. Snowshoeing, skiing, spa, all great opportunities. But then again, if you come here in the summertime, um, pretty much any time from October to April, you've got more sunshine. Typically, the sun comes up around 6 a.m., even sometimes up to like 5 a.m., and will go down from maybe 9 to 10 p.m. So you've got a lot more sunlight in that time of year and more activities to choose from on the lake, such as sailing, kayaking, and all those sorts of things. So we do have a wellness program. And again, these are all things that Lucia and Clara can help customize if you have itineraries who are interested, or if you have clients who are interested in these types of things. We've got a forest program, and here's a small video of the spa and the property. Well, that makes me want to hop right back on a plane and go back to Argentina. There's no place like it. But real quick, I've totally think I skipped this section a little bit about the logistics, and I want to make sure that everybody knows this. So Las Balsas, you can see, I mean, it's not super accurate map, but hopefully I can give you a better idea of how to get there. I mentioned you have to arrive at Bariloche, but it's not actually in Bariloche. So Las Balsas is in Villa La Angostura, which is pretty much on the other side of the lake Nahuel Huaipe. I'm not sure if I said that correctly, but it's an hour and 15-minute drive from the Bariloche airport onto the other side of the lake. And this is super important to understand because Bariloche has become a major city in Argentina. I think almost about 1 million people population. So it's still an amazing place to visit, but it is very crowded. On the other hand, Villa La Angostura, even though it's a little bit of a drive from the airport, it really is what makes Las Balsas special because it puts you into nature and a town with not much people. So when you're at the hotel, you don't hear traffic, you don't hear electricity, you have complete peace and quiet. And that's something that not so many places in the world have anymore. So please do remember that, yes, you fly into Bariloche, but it is not in the town of Bariloche. It's in Villa La Angostura.
Tony, let me add one more thing,
Of course.
that you have other ways to get to the hotel. If you go to Bariloche, you can go sailing and arrive in our harbor. It's a very nice way to start the trip because you sail all the way through the lakes, and also you can go by car up to San Martin de los Andes, which is another very nice city, which is like 2 hours and a half uh, within land. So you can, combine, and also the all the trail. It's very nice to see. So you can do the combination best for the guest.
Amazing. Yeah, I totally agree. And also, there are flights from Mendoza daily. I would say most people, especially from the United States, are combining Bariloche with Mendoza. So that's something important to know. And also, we can create custom itineraries, even if you have guests maybe in Puyehue or the Chilean Lake District. It's also possible to go that route as well. So I think the main takeaway is just to make sure that you contact us if you have clients who are wanting to go to Las Balsas, so we can make sure that we arrange transportation accordingly. So that was the presentation, and I'm going to leave a few minutes to answer some questions. And let's see.
Can I just ask my question in real time? I was going to keep
Yes,
typing, but I
would
have
love
more.
to.
Okay, so I asked about an age minimum. Do you guys have, is it adults only? I missed if kids are allowed.
Lucia, I'll let you answer that. I know they are in the wintertime, but it differs from the summertime.
Yes, the hotel is most adults hotel, but we accept tiles in the winter season. Will be from July to almost September. So we might do some exceptions where it's not high season during the year. So we ask for you to request for that anyway. And also we have the options to have the whole house. And in those cases, we allowed the whole family.
Great. Thank
So
you.
typically high season, it's kids over 12, right? Unless we make an exception.
Okay, great. My other question was regarding fishing. I have a lot of clients who like to do like big fishing tours. I don't really know anything about fishing personally. Is there the lake that you can kind of come in on? That's a fishable lake? Did I see that on the presentation?
Totally. Yeah, fly fish,
Yes.
and I'll let them elaborate.
Okay. No, we do have fly fishing. There is the whole area of Patagonia. It's very well. We do have this kind of fishing. We have the option to do it directly in our lake, in our Wapi Lake, or if not, in different rivers all around and near the hotel. So yes, we do have these options from November until March or April.
And it's mostly trout, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Or salmon?
No, trout mainly.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
I can send you even more information if you want.
Yeah, I'm writing these answers down, and I'll include them in the follow-up email with everybody,
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Clara.
of course. And then, yeah, so Paul, the transfer time, hour to 1.5 hours, depending weather and traffic. But it's a very scenic drive. And also Las Balsas can arrange the transportation, or of course, if you book with a DMC, they will as well.
Yes, and there's one more thing that I don't think you mentioned, that we have bed and breakfast and also half board and full board rates. So in the full board rates, starting from 2 nights and on, we include the transfer to the airport, in and out, and also a meal, the 2 meals, and a massage. So just for you to know that we can arrange all transfers in those cases. Yeah, and you can also add in bed and breakfast options too.
And the bed and breakfast rates from the house start around $400 per room per night.
Mhm. Or less, yes, in high season.
So,
And the villas starting in $700 in double basis.
okay. Villas starting at 700.
Thank you, Michelle.
Michelle, it was great to see you in Las Vegas. Glad
And
that.
also Jerry Barson, that I know her, that
Oh, Sherry,
she
Sherry.
was saying how it's online too.
Awesome.
Thank
Okay.
you to be here.
We a little bit over time, but that's okay. We're all best friends now, and hopefully you know everything you need to know about Las Balsas. Again, I'll send a follow-up email with those specific questions we answered and a recording of the webinar. And hopefully you learned something today and are super excited to come visit Las Balsas. I know that we're ready to see all of you. And um, yeah, I think the rate for being in Patagonia and in Argentina is amazing. And it can open up doors to connect with other places or again to stay the whole time at Las Balsas. So whatever you need, feel free to reach out to any of us, and I'll connect you with Clara and Lucia directly via email as well.